Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
Sing a song of sixpence, pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to tweet. We're sorry you missed fumble through because we didn't make last week.
Fumble through!
That was a great rhyme,
Did
right?
the birds begin to tweet or did they X?
They X'd. They XXX, especially over their eyes.
XXX.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. The birds are young and innocent.
Hey, you sounded like a geezer now.
Yeah, it baked right into a pie, mate. What kind of pie? It was an ass pie.
Oh, those birds, they're fine.
I want his fucking dog dead. That's right. We are sitting here, as you can very well hear, in the humblest of penitence because we missed a release last week, and we hope that you will forgive us for this. And this is something we try really hard not to do, but with recent holidays and scheduling and all that stuff, it's hard to get a safety net in place, and we're working on it. So that's the end of that apology. Moving on. We don't really.
Well, hang on. We might have missed a release last week, but I'm on my 254th week of missing releases, so I'm okay.
It counts if you buy yourself, Brett.
I didn't miss a release last week.
Oh, no. But I'm going to move on. So we are right here, right now. So let's move on. Let's get over what happened in the past. Let's put your past in your behind, as Pumba likes to say. I feel like it's going to be a big week for us in the Fumble Factory. There's something in the air tonight. There's a freneticism in the air. I think
that's a confusion, Justin. We're not sure what the hell you're saying.
It's
I
hot.
don't even know what that word is.
It's hot. It's late.
Very
Words are-
unorthodox process at the moment.
Yeah. In the last 2 weeks, I don't know about you guys, but I've discovered crack.
As Pumba used to say, put your past in your behind.
Yeah. My crack.
Different crack.
Yeah. So, how are you, crew? This is what I want you to do. Challenge yourself right now. Sum up your last 2 weeks using only song lyrics. Go.
Oh, God.
Good start. Thunderbolts of lightning, very, very frightening.
Galileo. Wow, we're going to circle back to that was very dark that you came into that.
Right.
We are going to circle back to how you are right now.
I'd like to go with I'm all right, I'm torn, I'm all out of space.
Is that the song
This
about
is
your
how
first
I
sexual
feel.
experience?
This is I thought we were doing crack jokes.
Oh. Lindsay's Googling.
Yeah. You know when you get asked a question and it's something like, I was literally listening to music and singing lyrics on the way here, and as soon as you said, name song lyrics, I'm like,
Gone.
yep, Bar Bar Black Sheep.
That's good king Wenceslas.
Bar Black Sheep sums up your
I have no idea.
Wow. How is your family,
I've
Lindsay?
had a lot of Wiggles this week.
Yeah.
Yep, I had to listen to a lot of Wiggles.
What's the Wiggles song of choice in your world?
Toot toot chug chug.
Big Red Car?
Papa Dum, Papa Dum.
No, don't do it.
What? I
Have
don't
you ever
know.
heard that one?
No. Is this...
Papa-dum, papa-dum, papa-dum. It's so racist. It's not.
But I love it already.
It's great.
I'm classic Wiggles. Remember, my kids are older, so
Yeah.
I can only do Wiggles from the first iteration, the original, the OG Wigs.
OG Wigs.
The OG Wigs are the only ones in my world.
The cockroaches.
Luke's looking weirdly at because he doesn't know that the Wiggles were formed from a band called the Cockroaches.
Oh, I didn't know that, no.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah,
I'm sure at some point I'll care about it, but you know.
Wow.
Luke's got a real
He's got an
attitude today.
attitude today.
All right, thunderbolts and lightning. What the fuck's happening?
No.
Thunderbolt.
That was just what popped into my head. It's just been it's been a hectic couple of weeks.
You've been at Taylor Swift, though. You didn't go shake it off or something
No,
like that?
I've got a daughter who's very much into Taylor Swift at the moment. I'm wishing she wasn't, but
I'm fairly sure if he went to Taylor Swift, it would be "It's me, I'm the problem."
yeah, you
It's
probably
me."
would be right. Yeah. So what my wife keeps telling me.
Didn't get some pink last week?
No, I did not.
What about one in the stick? My song lyric.
Yeah, sorry, let's grace us with your opinion.
West Philadelphia, born and raised. That's spent most of my days. I don't even
Have you
know.
been booming and shaking the room?
Yeah, boom, shake the room. They call me Mr. Bombastic. Girl me fantastic.
Right.
It's written on my box. They call me Mr. Romantic.
All right, it's hammer time.
What?
You are mixing up.
I know, I'm loving it, yeah. Because I don't care.
I don't care. We Mr. Wick, we don't give a fuck.
What's going on?
I don't know. It's hot.
What's going
It's too
on?
hot
It's got
to
very
live.
warm all of a sudden, hey?
It's too hot to live. So, recently I have been thinking about what it was like when I was but a wee baby and the world in which I grew up in, and maybe the same world in which you grew up in, but I feel like mine was more of a fantasy place inside my own head. It occurs to me that what I think was just a minute ago actually was in a different century and much further away than I thought. Like, things happen and I'm like, no, that was like, and they're like, oh, whoa, okay,
Yep.
that was 30 years ago. Yeah, that new band Nirvana. But whatever.
All the song lyrics we just talked about.
That's right. That's right.
That's a very fair point.
I pulled out
Nothing
some
this century,
Taylor
this
Swift.
millennia. Nothing this millennia.
Okay, I'll do what actually sums up my last 2 weeks. I came in like a wrecking ball.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
That was still 2014, I
Yeah.
think. That's still a decade ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I would like to talk about is how things sometimes appear further away, like a Jurassic Park mirror. But I want to flip that around, and I want you to talk about what you think the world is going to be like 30 years from now, and what you base that belief off. Because there's that world of the Jetsons where we went, 2021, like, the Marty McFlys, all of that kind of stuff all happened now. We are living in the future of our childhoods, and there's no flying cars.
I will be playing releasing Fumble Through with AI versions of you 3. Because you'll be dead. Because you're old.
Because we'll all be dead. Wow. So thunderbolts and lightning.
Yeah, my answer for this isn't much prettier.
I'm all right. I'm torn.
No, what do you think the world's going to be like? Like, what are the differences that you're like, let's make some predictions. Let's make some predictions. I'm having a stroke. This is like, the Simpsons you keep going back and the Simpsons do things and you're like, oh my God, the Simpsons just predicted all of these things that are happening in the world. Let's do some predictions.
So AI is going to take a lot of jobs and it's going to make a weird sort of dystopian future, probably very similar to like Coruscant, where you've got the upper city and the slums. Because you'll either be rich enough to be able to afford to have luxury, or you'll be not. And you won't have a job to do it because they'll all be done by robots or AI.
Robots.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cheery question, Justin. I just like to point out.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that you've all gone dystopian from the get-go.
I don't. I'm in the same kind of space. I think there's a creative outcome out of that people will jump into. I think the creative space won't be taken over by AI as much as it will take over other things.
I don't think it will be I don't think the art or music side will be I think that will just happen for a little bit and then it will fade. I think it's going to be the job side.
I think there's a pendulum shift and it will recenter. So we've gone through a period, think about the 70s, 60s, 70s, where people were all about family and neighborhood and connecting with each other. And then digital hit and we moved to a more solitary experience that we don't connect as much, where there's no grand communions anymore. You don't have neighborhood parties. You don't.
I think Vin Diesel would say something different because he's all about family.
Yep. So then I think the pendulum AI will allow people more time to connect with each other, that it will solve the digital things that we're spending our time doing digitally because we have to. which will allow us to be more personal with each other. So there'll be that, but that personal won't be driven by career, and that will shift a huge Western framework. We're born out of the industrial age where we are defined by our job. It won't be that. We'll be defined by our, kind of like Star Trek, what you give back to society or what you do kind of altruistically or more worldly. It won't be I'm a teacher. It will be I think about this stuff and I theorize about this stuff, or I connect with people this way. I think it will be more in that space.
My theory is the AI is going to affect those kind of people more. I don't think it's going to replace the physical jobs as quickly as it's going to replace the intellectual jobs of, like, say, marketing or stuff where you have to analyze numbers or trends. I think that's what's going to go first.
Possibly. I think that's right. I think AI will function into a space that takes menial tasks away from people as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be all the middle class jobs that will lose first.
I think philosophy, I think thinking. So you won't replace high education. You won't replace doctorates. You won't replace that stuff because it's new thought. It's new forms of thinking. It's not derivative thinking, and AI will need to it's kind of there, but I think it won't do what humans can do, which is think about things that haven't been thought before.
The thing about AI though and the robots is you're going to be able to dress them up like your Fortnite characters. So you're going to have to buy a little bit. Somebody's got to make the things to put on your robot to get the best new hairstyle or the best new little badges and all that kind of stuff. You look at every computer thing that is out there right now and how much you can customize and the microtransactions that go with that. I think capitalism will shift more into that microtransaction phase of the world. Until Russia takes over. And then the AI will dominate us and tell us exactly what we're supposed to do and how we're going to run our day-to-day basis. But I don't know that AI is going to take it. Like, this is the same rhetoric, I guess, that most likely would have happened around the Industrial Revolution. And then we've had this technical revolution where people are like, robots are going to lose jobs. And sure, menial tasks will probably disappear. Like, there are some pretty low level kind of things that don't require a lot of brain power to conduct, but that's okay because it frees up humans to do what humans can do, which is focus on self. And be more woke, because I think that's what the future is going to be, more woke.
I think if it doesn't shift the current economic capitalist environment, then the class divide is going to be massive.
Yeah.
I think that's the people with houses will have everything and people without houses will have nothing.
Luke's been very quiet.
How far ahead of in the future are we predicting?
Just 30 years. Just 30 years? Yeah. I was thinking about jetpacks and hovercars at this point.
I know what you're thinking.
That was a 1990s promise that I'd have now.
I think we're going to have a population problem.
Yeah.
In the negative.
As in we're going to go backwards.
Yeah.
In our population.
Birth rates in the West are already dropping like a rock at the moment.
Yeah.
So Japan's leading that at the moment, where they've got a problem where they're outselling adult nappies over child nappies.
Yeah.
And the rest of the West is following in that trend.
But that's fetishes.
Fine. But the rest of the West is following in that trend. So I think in talking about AI replacing jobs and stuff, we might actually very well need that, because we're going to have a loss of skills if we're not quick to jump on this.
What I worry about is not the loss of, I think we're going to lose basic skills. I think we're going to lose the ability to hold a screwdriver and
they're gone. My kids don't even know what a file is.
Yeah, like you think of our parents' generation, like our dad was very handy and had done stuff. His dad was handy. They knew stuff. I knew how to use drill presses and work forges. I don't know. And then I talk to my kids and they do like a shop class now, and that's what they're exposed to, because you can't change the oil in your own car. There are certain things now you're technologied away from doing.
Not allowed to do any wiring in your house.
And you can't do certain things because you need a person to do them. And those are the jobs that you look at now, they're the jobs that are actually paying huge amounts of money. Like, being in the construction industry is actually something that's akin to, like, you pay a plumber equivalent of lawyer prices in some ways. And they're the skills that I think are going to drop off and drop off and drop off.
Well, they already are, aren't they?
As you lose artisans. I think the artisan skills are going to be the ones that go as we get mass
You
production.
think so?
Yeah, mass production will overtake that kind of stuff.
I think there'll be an area of that is pure artisan outcome, though, that they'll create for the sake of creating. That it'll be people who learn, like what's that Japanese art where you break something and put it back together with gold.
Yeah.
That's not a functional outcome anymore. That's a...
Yeah, I get that, but that's a niche thing. Like, that's like a guy who wants to be a blacksmith in this current day and age and make his own sword and go on a TV show or whatever. But I'm talking about, like, as a general kind of thing, who goes and sharpens your lawnmower blades? Who goes and, like, who knows how to sharpen a file?
The person who cuts my lawn would sharpen...
You just buy a new one.
Yeah, that is a very niche thing. Like, who knows how to sharpen a knife? People are taking their knives to actual people to get sharpened rather than... Like that I could see as a skill that people are like, it's actually easier and cheaper for me to go and give it to somebody else to get the hassle away from me than to do it.
Well, it's cheaper already to just buy a new knife.
That's right. It's like printers, right? Why buy a cartridge when you can buy a whole printer?
Half the price.
Yeah. Anyway.
But won't that make a whole raft of people who are specialised in a certain thing? So there won't be people who sharpen knives, but also, replace your keys and put the battery in your thing. It'll be a guy whose sole job is to be the best knife sharpener, and you'll go and visit him with your knife to get your knife sharpened. That you'll go and visit the person.
But there'll be a robot that does it. There'll be a robot. You can... that's where I think some of that.
I don't think a robot will be able to go. This is a
and 3D
50-year-old Japanese knife that's used in the kitchen and needs a certain kind of angle on the blade. I don't think that's what AI will do. They'll go, you put a 12-degree bevel on both edges and you're good.
Yeah, you don't need a knife. I'll 3D print you a cut up potato.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Replicators.
Yeah, I'll 3D print.
I'll print you a new knife.
I'll 3D print you your house. And then we'll just drop it into your.
And I think that's the thing. We'll get into mass fabrication, but there'll be ways to personalize that mass fabrication, like Fortnite. It's the same avatar with the different skin.
Yeah. I enjoy the idea of that in some ways, but I also it fills me with a bit of dread that some of that is going to go away, that machines already play such a part. Like, you look at kitchen installs right now, that's all done by lasers and machines.
Are you disappointed that we don't chisel into stone anymore?
I am disappointed that the stone masonry is gone, like the slate masonry is gone, all of that stuff. And if you're making a joke about people getting lung issues from stone, I'm not making a joke.
I'm going that it's a constant loss and evolution of work that we don't need someone who.
But we do have those people, but it's not done by a person anymore. It's done by a big pneumatic it's done by a big cutter.
Yeah, and an ox doesn't hoe the field anymore. It's a big John Deere tractor, and it does 15 fields at once.
Question.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about this not job loss, but this skill loss, why? And do you know these skills?
Do I know those skills?
Yes.
I know some skills, but then some skills some skills are dead skills.
So why don't you take those skills though that you either know, teach them to your kids, or the skills that you think should be passed on, learn them yourself that you're saying you don't have because your father could do them, but you never needed, and do it that way. Like,
but I
build the knowledge of passing on that skill as a thing rather than just going, oh, well, this is easier.
That's not quite the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is nowadays, rather than me have to learn how to do dovetail joints and bridle joints and stuff, I go to IKEA, buy a cabinet, and it's already put together, and I just turn some knobs.
Yeah,
right?
but you're basically saying you're going to be part of the problem instead of trying to.
But
doesn't IKEA have a guy who knows how to do dovetail joints
they have a robot that does that and puts it all together. They have a robot that does that. They have somebody who can technically draw it and put it together and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, in the future, that skill is going to be really interesting. And when power outages happen, or when things actually fabricate, like, the skills will be to maintain the robots or the machines that do the actual work, that kind of remedial work, I guess.
Because, like, I still, to this day, like, my dad's 65 and he still knows a lot more about carpentry and stuff that I ever will. But if I need to do something, I'll still go, hey, Dad, come over, teach me how to do this thing because I need to learn how to do it.
Yeah, but you're not installing your own kitchen. You're not building your kitchen from scratch.
I've built doors in my house.
Yeah, but
like wooden doors from slats of timber, and I've built desks from pieces of timber.
That's, I think, the difference. Like, I don't. Yeah,
the door is.
Yeah,
the desk is okay.
But anyway, I guess what I'm getting at it, 30 years from the future, what are my expectations of the world in front? I think I'm getting back into a less cynical world. I actually think that the world of us plugging in and connecting while being individuals is going to be a very interesting space.
It's because we actually be able to plug into each other.
Yeah, well,
we do that already, don't we?
Yeah, the Google glasses that people have
for 254 weeks.
Kind of do that until your birthday.
If you're lucky.
Not lucky.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be an interesting space of socialization because I'm looking at socialization now as such a weirdly isolated socialization. Like people socialize from the comfort and individualness of their households in some ways.
Except over the last week, hundreds of thousands of people went to Pink and Taylor Swift and experiences, and they communed as a group in what is probably a singular experience, right?
No, 90% of those people, maybe not 90%, most of those people would have been holding up their frickin' phone and watching it through their phone. I hate that at concerts. I absolutely hate it. Pet peeve of mine.
But then,
if you're at a concert, don't watch it through the screen. Just frickin' watch it.
Go Queen.
Thunderbolts and lightning.
So I think that's the swing, Justin. I think people will isolate, but they will look for those big communion moments. They'll look for those moments where they can experience the world with other people who are like-minded, and that will be way more accessible for them. It'll be way more democratic in the way you experience the world.
Do you think it'll be in person? Because I can see a world like, I even watch my kids stay up for events when they were younger. There were certain events where pop stars, they sound like 100 years old.
At the disco.
Where they did a discotheque in the Fortnite. And inside Fortnite, they would have somebody that would go in and they would do a moment where they would do a concert inside Fortnite, and you would virtually plug in and you would go in there and you get your merch just like a real concert.
Yep.
And I can see more and more of that happening where people actually don't have to go into the trouble of going to those places. I think it's going to be very far between where people actually go, I'm going to leave my house, take a plane down to a place to go to a concert and stay in a hotel and make it a thing, when I could use all of that money to go maybe and have an experience in another country. Because I think that's what people will start doing. They'll do virtual experiences connected with more people.
I think it's possible if the current economic climate and the capitalist kind of situation doesn't shift, that's possible.
Yeah.
But I think I can experience other countries with AI. I can experience it through VR. I can do all of that stuff anyway. So the thing you can't do, and the thing AI is not going to do, is let me have a connection with another human where there's something ephemeral about that you can never replicate.
Like a girl human, effeminate.
I personally had a very foul week, last week, and I kind of put half of it down to the fact that I didn't get to play D&D. I didn't get to sit around that table with you fools.
I think that's right. I think that's like there's a connection.
I mean, I could have I got on video games, didn't make it. It wasn't the same.
See, I hope there's something like the holodeck.
Just so you can have sex with something.
That wasn't where I was going. I was thinking more of the D&D, but okay, sure, why not?
Everybody, it's the first thing. Like,
clean out those buffers.
In times of war, that's where we get like technological advances and people are like, we need tissues because it's there. Now it's going to be, how can we fuck things better? What is more? We need sex advancements.
I don't think there has been any sex advancements in a long time.
Really?
Fleshlight?
Yeah, I present to you the fleshlight, sir.
Does that count as sex?
Yes.
Lindsay.
Does it count as sex? Are you asking this question? Are you trying to defend some of your actions lately?
I'm asking the question. Does that count as sex? Does it count as
My
sex?
flashlight's name's Jane.
If that's the case, doesn't masturbation count as sex?
Yeah,
Well,
it does. It's a form of
it's a
sex.
sexual act, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not sex.
It's not penetrative sex.
It's having sex with yourself.
I don't know. I wouldn't classify sex unless another person is involved.
Interesting. Luke, as a biologist, what do you have to say about that?
I'm not wading in on this.
And that's why Lindsay's always by herself.
There are boundaries I don't want to tear into Lindsay's private life.
Can we not use the
Nothing
word
to do with
tear?
my private life.
I don't want to upset his wife, mum.
Nice deflection.
Well, on that note, look, that as always, those conversations never go the way I wanted. Here, I thought we'd just be talking about like here's some cool gadgets that I thought.
It was
here's
so
some
bleak.
We talked about society rather than like my computer's going to be a tiny microchip in my head.
AI is such a big thing at the moment, and especially in my job at the moment. Like in the next year, there's going to be so many different AI like
Are you going to have a job?
security issues. Oh no, my job will be freaking help.
I know some people in IT who are losing their jobs because of AI, because some of the programming things that they used to need to do are now being taken over by AI. So that's an interesting space. But
My AI must be smarter than their AI.
but
AI then.
it's the robots that Skynet.
Yeah,
the world of
robot
Skynet.
uprising is what's going to be
The
happening.
world of Skynet is next. So, and even, we hear about Elon Musk implanting chips in people's brains that can do certain things. Like that interests me in terms of what is that going to look like?
That's just because you want to have sex better.
And how is our bodies going to change and adapt in such a small amount of time? To us physiologically not having to move the way we have in the past.
I don't move much.
It's there, just in circles. There. Anyway, let's talk about the thing we came here to do, which is play a game. Guys, we are nearing
Don't say it.
the end of your characters' lives.
Death.
We are nearing the death point. I am very interested in what is going to happen, because last week you guys came into Arla's Hall. You solved a puzzle, which was magnificent. You did a really good job of doing that. And you've gone through a portal into a mirror, into the floating tower. The floating tower that you would know floats now 300 feet, suspended in some kind of translucent feel of iridescent. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
There wasn't a single thing that went right there for you. Not a single thing.
What's now not work?
Consistency is key, Justin.
I-
Don't hang on to that
Don't
one.
let that go onto the cutting room floor, please. That was gold.
Don't worry, I'm going to say, oh my goodness, a few more times. Just so it
There's a t-shirt right there.
There is going to be an AI that sits in my head and goes, words wrong, no words not right.
You couldn't really do oh my goodness as a shirt. People would just think you've done a typo.
But anyway,
Justin is a typo.
the tower
That's a t-shirt.
a walking typo. That it's better than being adopted like Brett told
I
me
thought for a
it.
second you were
Yeah.
going to say it's better to burn out than to fade away. Then that would have been absolutely perfect.
But the tower is suspended about 300 feet above the floor of this, or the rest of the building in front of it. It's got this translucent field of iridescent energy, was the word that I was trying to get out.
Well done.
And surrounding that is almost like imagine a detritus, or like a force field, like Saturn's rings, or this ball of kind of stuff that's swinging around that ball of energy that's almost like a force shield around it, that if you tried to actually go in from the outside, it would rip you to shreds, because there's so much stuff around here, and there's such a cacophony of
Look at all the
a
big words he's
conflict.
got
I know,
now.
Seki's flexing just to make up for the absolute
no, I can't think of
schmozzle that
I
you
can't think of the little word that makes it easier. Like it's really nice to communicate using simple terms. So
we don't discombobulate the audience.
That's right.
So much
And I
hullabaloo.
can't think of the simple terms, but there's debris that orbits the tower. That's a better way of saying it without the big stupid words. So
Like Saturn's rings.
like Saturn's rings that roam and rip one to shreds. Lie down now. So you guys have now found yourself teleporting through the Arliss Hall, which was a way of getting into the tower. So there was a permanent structure in this room, the Forgotten Room, that you have gotten into. And you arrive. The southeast corner of this room has broken off along with parts of the floor. Rubble, loose bricks, masonry litter the edges of it. Beyond the opening, blue sky and the Absalom city skyline are plainly visible through all of the debris that flies around. A solitary door is closed to the south, and a full-length mirror is bolted to the northwest wall, which you guys seem to have magically emerged from. What I want you to think about is a round tower, like a cylindrical tower that a whole edge of it has crumbled away, and you are in a room that is the whole side of that room is not there anymore. It is gone. You are open to the air 300 feet up, and you can hear the wind howling through, and the tower itself seems to almost sway like you're on a ship moving backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards.
Sorry to interrupt your flow.
That's all right.
Is the tower multiple levels?
This tower, you think, is multiple levels.
So we
yes.
can just see the floor from the
You can
tower
see the
above?
next level above, but you can also, like, if you went out and you could fly, you could probably fly straight up and into the next tower, or you could fly straight out, or obviously to get into the middle of the tower. So imagine a circular level of a tower. You think you're in in a circular tower, a corner room.
But so like literally just one wall is sheared. The floors above are still intact.
Yes. And they're sheared as well. So the whole side of the tower seems to have been sheared off or crumbled away. And that's what's making the debris that's flying around, the old walls and all that kind of stuff. Luke, I know you've got your phone out and I love it. Can you do me a favor right now?
Yeah.
I want you to go onto your phone
Yep.
and I want you to set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes from this moment. And I want that timer to ring out so that it tells me what happens, because in 20 minutes, I need something to happen.
Okay.
I don't like this.
Right. Sorry. There we go.
Yep.
That wasn't my wind.
Was it flashlight?
If there is a dirge there. But you guys find yourself in this room. So you know how in the last room there's a double bed and the wall with it's the wall with the cabinet that's all fallen apart. So you're lucky that the mirror actually is still there because it's right on the edge. And so what are you going to do? You find yourselves all there, all five of you, I believe. Is there five? Four of you. All four of you are in there.
Four.
Yeah.
There is four,
There's
right?
Tia, there's
Yeah.
Reg, there's Flopsy, and there's Miles.
So what can we see? Can I roll a
So
perception check?
in here, you see basically a room with parts of the room that's just crumbled away. You can see right out. You can go to the edge of that and have a look if you like, but there's also a door that obviously leads out. The best way to describe this, if you look at it, is you've got a quarter circle as one of the walls and two straight circles. And like if you put a cross in the middle of a circle, they're the corridors for this building, and the four areas that are left there that are compartmentalized would be like the room that you're in.
A cross in the middle.
Yeah.
Like quadrants.
Right.
Yeah. Corridors. There's a corridor cross and then a room on each corner of a circular room.
Quadrants.
God,
Oh,
that's me.
it's fucking falling apart tonight.
We're burning 20 minutes here.
Are we taking 20 minutes
Yeah,
to
what are you
explain the
doing?
word quadrants? Is that what's happening?
You're in a room, you can jump out and die.
Go to the door.
Is anyone else
Acrobatics?
feeling the sweat? Feeling it. This is it's like that time I was on the boat and it was not feeling very.
Well, the way I can see it, there's two ways we can do this.
Go for it.
One, we work our way up the tower, fighting whatever's up there bit by bit. Or, Flopsy, how many bombs you got?
Okay, to the what?
Do you have enough to blow the bottom floor of the tower up so we can just leave?
There's no problem with leaving. We can just walk out that end where there's no wall, right? But why are we here?
Up we go. Let's go.
Can't.
Let's get him.
All right, just
Hold my hand, Popsy.
I can't remember.
Close your eyes and hold my hand. There you go.
Oh. Hey, that's not your hand.
We're looking for the key. The Skykey.
Yeah. Key.
Yep. So we gotta go find him. So let's on we go.
Tia will take the lead, and she'll this way, up.
Oh, I'm behind Tia. Reggie's
You're in
behind
a
Tia.
room.
Wasn't there a door?
Is it a quadrant?
Yeah, there's a door.
Go the door.
Yep.
Is it locked?
The door kind of goes clunk and hits something on the other side. Something is blocking the way and stopping the door from being opened.
Can we see hinges?
Of the door?
Yeah, you just take it off its hinges and
You
take it off the
can.
wall. Yep.
You can definitely. So you can try and break the door if you would like. You could try and
Hey, Tia,
engineer the door if you
Yes.
like. You can.
can we just take these hinges off?
Would you like the door open?
Yes, please.
You could also get around the wall if you wanted to climb around the open air part as well, because you think maybe where the wall is sheared off, you can get into the corridors from there.
Can I use
too.
my funky boots, the ones that allow me to climb up walls, get around there?
You certainly can.
All right, I'll do that while Tia's trying to take off the door.
Tia's just going to put a boot in the hinge.
Mm-hmm.
20 strength check, if that, whatever that does.
Tia clacks her boot into the door and it doesn't give. It kind of whatever's
It
on the
is-
other side seems to be large enough that she didn't get enough strength.
It is as solid as the door to the dining hall. Not
Okay.
going to move easily.
Give me a minute. So Reg is going to go around with his funky boots.
Mm-hmm. So Reg climbs out over the 300-foot drop. You
And
you
falls.
are in the air. What your climbing boots allow you spider climb, don't they?
For
Yeah,
10
yeah, that's
rounds
For
Yeah.
10 rounds.
a day.
Into that circle of magic negation.
Yeah, so you move around, and the first thing that you see as you move around the and look into the corridor is that there is a stone pillar that has crumbled. So obviously, in the middle of the corridor, there was a stone pillar holding up the floor above. That seems to have crumbled away and fallen, blocking the door itself. It's huge.
I was going to say, does it look like something I can move?
No, it's massive.
Does it look like something that one of one of Flopsy's bombs would blow up?
Put it this way, it's structural for a tower that is quite a few stories high. So the column itself is at least 3 foot wide and at least 10 foot high, this section of it that is blocking the door.
Do I think I could set up any kind of rope system round here to get people to climb round?
Engineering check.
Uh-huh. You mean dungeoneering?
Engineering.
Is Pathfinder.
Knowledge
Is that
engineering.
just a straight intelligence check if I don't have the skill?
It's a knowledge check for engineering.
Yes, if I don't have knowledge engineering, can I just do an intelligence check?
You can do a intelligence check, but it is very limited of what you can get. So you are limited in your response no matter what you roll.
So I rolled a 7, so I don't think I know too much.
No,
I'm going to head back and let everybody know. Guys, yeah, I'm just going to head back.
Yep.
Right, Tia, there's like a massive, massive piece of masonry behind that door. There's no way we're getting through that door by opening it or forcing it, but there's no way I'm going to be able to move that on the other side either.
Right.
Flopsy, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Any ideas, guys?
I could chop through the door, or we could all climb around.
When I saw, is it like the bit that's in contact with the door? If we take the door out, that's just going to collapse in further into the room that we're in,
Yeah,
right?
you could probably chop through the door and make a big enough hole that you could all get through. It's probably easier than swinging the door open.
Hang on. Perhaps a pull instead of a push.
If I climb round to the other side, can I possibly chop the hinges on from it? Because the door opens out into the corridor, doesn't it?
You
Not
can just
into the
chop
room.
straight through the door. Like you're overthinking trying to get to hinges.
I feel like you're trying to give us a hint here, Justin. I just don't want to listen to it. All right, let's chop the
it's a
door.
subtle hint.
All right, let's hack at the door.
You
then.
can
Tia.
even go through a wall if you really wanted to.
Through the-
They're a lot harder, but there's also walls that you can go through as well. Stone walls.
Get that sword out then, Tia. Let's go. All good there, Miles?
Yep.
Cool.
Tia's going to start hacking at the door.
Do you want to try another? Just push on it and see if you can break it again? Or
It's definitely
I'll assist.
It's not a push. It's definitely not a pull door, right?
no, the door is blocked. Like you can't open it.
Natural 20. I assist you twice as well.
Do you?
Yep.
You assist a very poor attempt at opening the door
Maybe Lindsay should have
at
tried to open it.
14.
Again, you bash into the door like Inigo Montoya trying to get run after
Like who?
Inigo Montoya. Inigo.
I heard something very different when you said that.
That's right. I also looked at Luke and he looked at me like he knew who that was.
No, I know that because I don't know it. I know that's from The Princess Bride.
Okay, good.
I could take my time and get through this door very easily, or we could do it fast and might not work very well.
Fast is better than we're burning time.
Oh, I'll give it another kick.
We don't know what he's doing up here. He might be opening more portals.
24.
With a large crack, the door bursts open and the whole top half of the door cracks open, falling over the pillar.
My
and
foot is stuck. I am
Opening an egress into the corridor.
It is a little bit stuck on the. It is caught. Can some stuck?
I'll help you.
From the room in which you are currently, you can see the corridor. You can see there are 4 other doors that lead off. So
Oh,
there
shit.
Are 4 other doors that can come in here. The other 3 doors. So this door plus 3 others. The other doors are not blocked. There is one room also, like if you imagine the bit that's collapsed has also opened up another room. So if you wanted to climb back out, Reg, you could climb into the other room as well and have a look in there, or you could just go through the door into the other room. It's up to you.
Let's use the doorway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah.
Flopsy's going to push past and start opening doors to have a look in rooms.
Okay.
Okay.
Better Flopsy?
Nope.
Okay, so you go to the closest door, which is directly across the corridor from you, Flopsy. You open it up and you see that this room contains ancient siege supplies stored here probably for a very, very long time. You can see barrels of oil. You can see a decrepit wheelbarrow. Some kind of large black cloak is in here as well. There's several crates of serviceable arrows and mundane weapons. So, like, you can see like barrels with weapons sticking out of them and ammunition for said weapons. So any real mundane version of a weapon can be found in here. So no special weapons, but your basic weapons from the core rule books, like your long swords, your short swords, your axes, war axes, spears,
Catapults, cloaks,
all of that kind of stuff. It
Handguns.
can be found in this place.
teleportation rings. Not on the train. Try the next door.
Yeah. As you walk around to the next door, you notice that there is a door that was unseen from your vantage point from the first door that you cracked open. That is right on the edge, and it looks like it abuts to this storage room, right against the wall.
Hold on a second. That's unusual. Maybe Flopsy will go and open that door.
Yep, it's a set of stairs that go down, but they go down into nothing now because the bottom part of it has cracked away. So this is probably to get to the lower levels of the tower, but there's no way of getting into those lower levels from here.
I think I found what I need.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll hold
Better out
Flopsy's
than
tail
in.
so it doesn't go into...
Better out than in. Oh, that was a hot pocket. Look at that.
And then you've got 2 other doors.
I'll open one of them. Miles will open one of the other doors.
Yeah, north or south, Miles?
North.
Okay.
To the north.
To the north. Opening this door, there is a staircase that winds upwards. They are very, very tight corners that go up. So it's a triangle-shaped staircase that goes upwards to the floor above.
Down the stairs are up. Do you want to check that last room before we leave?
T's going to walk and check the last door.
Yep.
Everyone's checking the door. She'll just go and
Going
silently
into there.
open it.
It looks like an old guard station. There are cots and moth-eaten blankets. They are all smothered in a thick layer of dust, which confirms that no one's really been posted atop this tower for a fairly long time. And, you know, it gives you the idea that this is probably the last step before you get to the very top.
It is just storage. Now, can somebody help me get this door off my foot, please?
I'll help. Oh, you just need to untie your shoe, and there you go, you're free.
Ah, very clever. Good one.
Miles will start heading upstairs.
Okay, and
Dexterous
so
little fingers, my lady.
you start moving.
It looked smaller from this far away.
You start moving up the stairs, and you start curling around the stairwell, moving upwards. Are all of you going?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing else down here, right?
Mm-hmm. So Miles is leading the way. Who goes next?
Oh, is he? Okay. Are we going stealthily, or are we just going full
I'm
out?
detecting magic as I go upstairs.
Flopsy will follow on Miles. Very interesting. Yes, good. Yes. Tears up the back, I think.
Okay, and Reg is second last.
Exactly where we want her.
Well, she's got a big door on her foot. She couldn't get through the doorway up the stairs.
Okay.
The top floor of the tower is an open, undivided by interior walls, but for like a little space that is the stairwell that you come out of. So you kind of burst up to the top. You immediately come to this one big circular place. None of this, like while the wall on a side is damaged, this whole level is intact. So this entire level remains, the floor is entirely round. There are windows that are large enough to step through, which line the exterior walls. There's an immense magical circle. Actually, there's two of them that are permanently etched into the floor. They're lines and curves, inscribed and filled with several types of metallic powder. Faint multicolored mist roils within the one that's on the southern side. And the one that's on the southern side is actually quite a lot larger than its counterpart. The only things that you note in this room that are obstructions, there's a large pillar right in the middle, which is 5 foot by 5 foot in diameter. To the very north, there is a pillar like you saw, the one that blocked the door, and there's one in the north, south, east, and very west. You guys have popped out on the northwestern side from the stairs, and you kind of sit there. But right next to where you come, there are two strange contraptions that are in the northwest and the southwest windows. Each device is a large red-tinted crystalline lens mounted in a frame so that they might be angled in a whole heap of directions, which gives you an idea. What are they? Like, imagine, like, you know, when you go to the very top of a lookout and you see a telescope, they're almost like a giant kind of telescope thing, like a big floodlight almost, but with red crystals that you can point in and out. Currently, the crystals are moved and they look inside of the room. This is also a moment where you can see 3 humanoid figures.
Oi, oi!
Do any of
that
them
are
ping
there.
magic since I'm detecting magic?
The 3 humanoid figures seem to be looking upon the southernmost circle, which seems to hold some kind of energy that's inside. It seems to be trapped, and the metallic powders that are on the floor seem to be trapping something. But even as you look, the breezes, the cracks, the absolute tumult that is inside of this tower is starting to move those metallic powders, and maybe giving you an inkling that whatever is holding in this space might not hold at the moment. And even as you look at it, you can see that there is a few limbs that seem to manifest out of energy that kind of sweep just a little bit out of that circle. But that circle itself is probably about a 20-foot diameter across.
Do they look like they've noticed us?
So they sort of are at the same point where you are. This is where you have sort of stumbled across each other at the same time. Initiatives, please.
Oh, I was going to say, do they look like consortium, or do they look like...
They 100% look like consortium.
Okay. So Little Reg has rolled a 25 for initiative.
Impossible.
Right. Sorry. I rolled a 19.
All right. What'd you get, Miles?
18.
Baby. 18. And then we get Tia.
16.
And then we get Flopsy.
14.
I thought you said you were about to say 5. I was like, oh, that's actually that's some really good initiatives there, guys. I'm very proud of all of you. You You seem to really be getting into this with the spirit in which
Condescending fuck.
you should. Did you just call me condescending?
Correct.
My
No,
favorite
we're ascending.
is my favorite fruiterer condescending.
Wasn't worth it.
Tough grade.
Reg, you stumble upon these three guys. Two of them are largish, muscly creatures, half orcs in nature.
Hang on, are they large?
Well, they're medium
Right,
humanoids,
okay, cool.
but
Because that makes a difference. I just want to
they're
point out.
large, medium humanoids.
Right.
But they're muscly, brutish.
Large, medium halflings.
Yeah, they're muscly, brutish half orcs that each carry a great axe. You can see short spears that are tucked into like a pouch on their belts. They are ready to rumble, and they did have their I guess their eye out. They were quite watchful at the moment, but they stand aside another person, which it looks more slight, a half elf that seems to be more of a robed figure, belonging less of a nature of melee combat, I guess, with a crossbow strung upon its back.
How far away from me?
So from where you are sitting, so this entire circle from one end to another, so this entire level is 65 feet in diameter. So you could get from one side of it to the other in no sweat.
Hang on. It's 60. So how far away are they? Are they
One
60
move.
One move. So I can charge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll charge the elf.
Mm-hmm. So when you said charge, you can move 40 foot. Right?
That's the timer.
Reggie, you start moving. At the very moment that Reggie starts his charge, a rumble begins to happen. The entire tower starts to shake, and you feel like the energies that are lifting it from where it sits start to break a little bit, to move. Everyone make a perception check for me.
Oh, great. 12 for Reg.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled a 2.
11 for Miles.
11 for Miles, yes.
14 for Flopsy with his +9.
And Tia?
21
Okay.
Good
with
old
her
Tia.
+2.
Yeah.
Coming at the back, sees everything.
Tia from behind is the only one that clocks an energy field or some kind of tugging that the half elf has some kind of metal object in his hand, and as the entire tower starts to move, this object kind of, it's almost like it moves on its own, like it's got a magnetic field or it's being pulled or maneuvered into a way, and it makes this figure shudder a little bit before he can really grab hold of this metal object and wrestle it under control. But what also happens at that exact same time is the entire tower seems to tilt on its axis towards the east, and the whole tower, about 20 degrees, just goes cronk, almost like it's slowly falling over. Everybody make me a reflex save.
So my shoes are still on there, right?
Your shoes
No, I'm joking.
are
I'm
still...
joking.
No, your shoes are 100% still on. You do not...
It's 10 rounds a day.
Yeah, I can't. No, that's fine. It's fine. I've did a reflex. Is it a reflex, you say?
Yeah.
No problem. 27.
Mm-hmm. Tia?
My shoes are on, right?
Tia's got 10.
10? Flopsy?
Oh, here we go. 19.
Okay. Miles?
13.
Tia falls to the floor. She loses her footing as the tower lurches and moves. And
Does she fall to the wall?
She falls prone. At the same time that she falls prone, you also see one of the orcs, the half-orc figures, also lose his balance and fall prone on the floor as well. You'll start moving towards the west at the moment, and mid-charge, you have to do a reaction. So as you start moving, this whole thing happens, and while the entire tower goes to the east, if you are to move to the west at this point in time, so away from the combatant, so it's probably not you guys, you are going to need to treat that as difficult terrain because you're moving up a hill and there's things sliding down. But you continue your charge if you want to, Reggie.
Yep. So as Reggie's doing this, he's reminded of this time training on oversized bowls and running around the edge of the bowls as they're shifting and rebalancing his weight and thinking, oh, yeah, this is why I was training on those things. This makes sense now. Okay. So do I reach the elf?
Yep, you can reach. So you move straight up to the elf. So know that to get to the elf, you have to get through the two guards that are standing on either side. Like they're sort of behind him. The
So
elf,
one of them's on the floor prone now,
one
right?
of them's on the floor prone.
So, so anyway, do they still get an attack of opportunity?
The one of
prone
them
one?
will, if you come up, you'd have to go the long way. To charge in a straight line towards him, you kind of have to go through an attack of opportunity to get to the elf. But
So hang on, was this a situation when I started my charge?
Yeah. So the elf was looking at that kind of ball of energy, and these two guys were standing on either side, sort of behind him, like a triangle, I guess, if that's the way. On either side.
Okay. And one's prone. So I'm going to cop a... All right, let's cop a hit. Go on, let's go.
You're going to go...
well, can I change my mind and go for the orc instead then?
Hmm?
Can I switch gears as I'm running?
You can switch gears, but this is also the moment where I'm not going to be an arsehole. I'm going to tell you because they haven't acted yet. They don't get attacks of opportunity, so you can do it.
I'll go for the elf then.
Yeah. So you move straight into the elf.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Throw a wild sweep at the legs.
Mm-hmm.
Really like using all my momentum as I'm going in. Oh, that's good. And I rolled an 18, which gives me a grande total of a 24 on the trip.
Okay, the elf goes down. So the elf becomes a prone thing.
And as he goes down,
Mm-hmm.
I gently caress him on the cheeks with my fingers.
Okay. Did you miss?
That is creepier than hitting him.
It really
It was a
is.
10.
A 10, yeah. You definitely miss him as he falls.
Now you go down.
you
easy.
And you stay down.
You actually buffet him a little bit as he falls to the floor. That brings us to our next combatants, which are actually the enemies. So I rolled really well with the enemies at this point in time, and they move next.
So hang on. Let me just get this right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing adjacent to two prone people, right?
Yep,
Cool.
you definitely are.
Oh, this is your happy place, isn't it?
We'll
see.
You're running in regular salad bowls pays off.
Mm-hmm. First thing that happens, the orc that is next to you.
The one standing,
Yeah,
of course.
he's going to move first. He kind of looks at you and you see a weird concentration come over his face. At the same time that he begins to concentrate, one of those lights with the red crystals in it seems to encapsulate the light from outside. That light beams into his person as he kind of moves his hands in a very awkward way, and he kind of starts to push an energy that comes straight into him towards you, Reg.
Oh.
Attack of opportunity.
Uh-huh.
You get one.
Oh, I get
against
one.
him.
Against him.
Come on, Reg. Take him.
They call me the whirling dervish for nothing. So here we go for another sweep. And that is a 17 on the CMB. CMB.
A 17 to trip him.
Yes.
Yep, it is not enough.
Not enough.
Oh,
to get him.
what? Even though with your confidence of knowing exactly what you were doing
That's
just
right.
then.
Mhm. And because you didn't cause any damage to him, what seems like a very out of place spell happens, Reg. And a beam of light attempts to hit you with a touch attack.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't like those.
Yeah, I don't want to play a character, but, spells,
I don't
concentration checks.
I don't think this is going to work. But the 11
Is not enough.
Oh,
it's not enough for a touch, and you see a beam of white hot kind of fire just fly straight past you. At the same time, you look at the other two who are doing something very similar to this as well.
Okay.
The only one that seems to get a handle upon this is the sorcerer that's on the ground, who seems to be weaving it with a lot more proficiency than the brute beside it. Do you have any more attacks of opportunity?
Bet your ass I do.
Okay, so one against the brute that's already on the floor.
Let's go. Already on the floor. All right. That's going to be a 23.
That's going to hit him.
Okay. Oh, do I have to roll anything else for that? Or just
Are
straight?
you just hitting
That's
him?
it. I just hit him. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm just smacking that one straight in the schnoz
Yeah.
Stay down.
for 2 points of damage.
For 2 points of damage, and you knock one of his hands wide as this ball of energy kind of comes into it, and the energy dissipates between his hands before anything else happens.
Nice.
The other, the sorcerer that seems to be on the floor, that seems to be wielding it with a plum. Are you doing
With
it?
a plum?
Yeah, he's got a plum in his mouth. He's
Yeah.
very
I got combat reflexes, so that
very-
gives me attacks opportunity equal to my dex modifier. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
very hoity-toity.
Hoity-toity. Okay, so this one's already on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, that is an 18 to hit.
That will hit him.
Okay, come on. D4s. Fucking hell. 2 points of damage.
Okay, wait.
Fucking D4. Oh, did you see that?
No, I'm not looking at you because I'm very disappointed.
I roll 2 1s, and then I roll in disgust the dice away, and I've got double 4s.
Where's the
That's
Reggie
just
3? Are you adding your strength to it?
I am adding everything I've got to it.
So you couldn't do less damage.
Like this no, I couldn't.
You couldn't be less effective.
That's right. I'm just so angry right now. I've just slapped them. Get that
Right.
shit away.
Oh, this is going to be close. So he gets a... Oh,
What does that look like, Luke, with 3 people around you all getting attacks of opportunity? How do you do that in one instant?
Just all limbs.
Jump and all 3 limbs just
That's it.
lash out at once?
Yes. So that's a very crouching tiger, hidden
Yeah,
dragon kind
yeah.
of thing going on there.
the one thing that saves this spellcaster
Ooh.
is his proficiency with casting in combat. His combat casting bonus in point score gets him to beat the DC of the concentration check, which is 15 plus double the spell's level, by 1.
Negatives for prone?
That it doesn't have a negative for prone while you're concentrating on a spell,
Oh.
so
Really?
you can't. Yeah,
I thought a range had a.
There is nothing. No, you
Okay.
get the negatives and positives for hitting someone while
all right.
prone.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
are there.
Mm.
But he still has
This is
to.
a touch attack, right?
He still has to hit you with it.
Da-da-da. Dodge, Reg, dodge.
Oh fuck me! I'm
Dodge,
changing
duck,
that
dive,
fucking
dash, and
dice
dodge.
out because I don't think this is going to hit.
So excited.
It's not going to hit you, Reg. I don't think a 13 is going
It's
to.
not
plummet-
enough.
plummet
I'm little
into
Reg.
you.
My pronouns
And
are
what-
he.
And once again, I'm retiring that dice for the rest of this encounter because that fucking sucked. So that happens, and you see like
Everyone's still prone around me,
a
right?
dissipation of these two kind of these beams of light that have moved out for them, and you kind of look at them and you're like, that's a bit strange, maybe something to look into afterwards. The next thing that happens, Reg,
I'm like, guys!
is that both the sorcerer and the brute stand up. Attacks of opportunity if you still got them.
So hang on, how many have I used up so far?
3.
So I got one more. Oh gosh. I'm gonna go for the wizard, the elf. I'm
Mhm.
gonna try and trip him
Mhm.
again. That's not so good. We're gonna go for a 16 on the trip.
Just.
Oh, get those in. Right, so I get the vicious
Just.
stomp as well then, eh? Let's go for that. Oh, that's nice. Okay, 22 on the vicious stomp
Okay. Yes.
as he goes down. And for a 4 points of damage.
Oh, he's back.
Smacking him down hard in the throat as he goes down.
Miles, this is where Reginald really excels. 3 combatants, all prone. They'll
So
have
we
a
should
ver-
just leave him to it?
Are they all
Well-
prone? Are they all prone? They're not all prone, are they?
Well, they will
no,
be.
the
One's
two
still-
brutes are both up.
Yeah, but, oh yeah, because I didn't get the chance to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
check this out. They'll be like yo-yos, up and down and up and down.
So the two brutes are up, but the sorcerer has gone back down. And as you use your momentum, putting your foot inside of his knee, you kind of use your body weight to push his knee outwards as he goes back down. His head moves forward, and you just uppercut, poof, straight on his head as he falls backwards.
So they've all attacked and they've all moved
with
now, right?
Quite a bloody face. That moves us on to Miles.
Here we go. Come on.
Okay. So one of the ones that is the brutes.
Yes.
Come on, do something special. Do something different. Do something fantastic. What are you going to do?
Oh,
What do you think I'm going to do?
I don't know. I've never seen Miles do
I
anything.
am going to inflict so much bad luck. It's going to be the equivalent of telling your mum a joke to an orphan.
Nice. Go for it.
So I'm going to misfortune one of those brutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Did you guys see that coming?
About as much as my trip, right?
That is a natural 18 on the dice.
Ooh.
I have changed my dice out, and I'm much happier.
That's going to beat it.
Okay. Doing anything else?
No.
All right. That gets us down to Tia at the back of the group.
Tia's going to charge at the one that just got misfortuned.
Okay. So Tia, not knowing which one got misfortune, is going to charge at.
Well, Miles
brute.
would have pointed at one of them, right? She would have thought, that's taken effect.
Okay.
22 to hit.
A 22 is definitely going to hit.
How?
It's a pretty big sword that's coming over her shoulder.
I'm just really happy that I'm short.
Hold. She was prone. Stand up and move.
Yeah.
That'll be what she does.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So she stands up. Reggie trips her back, gets some from where he is.
She had an equivalent kind of damage to Reggie, I think, on that hit, if it was going to hit.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh, you know what I forgot? When you didn't trip that guy, he got a chance to trip you back. Oh.
Why did I miss by 5?
No.
Oh.
Do you have to miss by 5?
Yeah. I gotta be under by 5.
Oh, okay. Look at someone who's pretending like the rules are just. Oh, I miss by 5,
Sorry,
guys?
That's his character's got evasion.
Yeah, wow. So is his.
And combat reflexes, let's not forget.
Yeah.
I had to double check because I was like, I'm pretty sure I get more than one attack of opportunity here.
Flopsy.
Bombs away.
No, Flopsy's still. No, Flopsy's going to. Oh, that looks like it's all under control over there. I'll go investigate this crystal shard over here. This rose-coloured Crenshinabon.
That's actually really smart.
Mm-hmm. So you move over to the the one that's closest to you, which is the one to the north. You move over and you see a device that's translucent enough that it can encapsulate sunlight. And even as you watched it, you saw that whatever sunlight has hit it was hitting parts of it. It's a magical contraption. You think that transferred some of the heat from that into those guys. And you're like, that's kind of strange. That device connected them with some kind of firepower.
You're like, oh my goodness.
I was like that. Can he move it?
You can definitely move it.
He wants to point it at the other one.
Mm-hmm. What other one?
Isn't there 2 of these shards in the room?
Yep. Oh,
He's going to connect one to the other.
the stairwell wall is actually between so where the stairwell, that's the only dividing place, and it actually stops the two from pointing to each other.
Right. I pointed at little Reginald down there.
So you kind of move it towards Reginald, which isn't a huge move.
No, it's pointing next to it.
Yeah.
Right. I'll just adjust that off Reginald, off those big fellas onto Reginald. I think that's a good place for a little heat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you start moving a bit. Just to give you an idea, Flopsy, it's not pointed directly at them. It's pointed. No, it's pointed in a general area. Like it's not like it's a magnifying glass.
It's not a beam of light, right?
It's not a constant beam of light. They kind of pulled the light out of it. So they did something to enact something that was magical. So you think that there's some kind of magical effect that this has that you would have to try and figure out through some type of spell casting.
Can I revert then to covering it with my cloak?
Yep. So you grab your cloak and you cover it with your cloak.
Correct.
Stopping any sunlight from touching it.
Correct.
Appropriately or inappropriately.
Oh, hot. This one's hot.
Reginald.
Got a hot pocket. This will
Yes,
warm
yes,
up nicely.
yes.
Round number 2.
So there's an orc still stood up.
2 orcs are stood up.
2 orcs stood up.
One half elf on the floor.
Okay. So we're going to flurry on the orc closest to me, yeah?
Yep. Which one? Left or right?
Yep.
Okay. Because they're currently flanking you.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You get advantages when you're flanked, right?
Too many rules for other game systems went through my head there. That was scary. That's the first time ever that's happened.
AI does not compute. Oh my God.
I can still trip as part of the flurry, can't I? Yeah. Yes, I can.
You may.
Yes. So we're going to try a flip. Now you're going to get a chance to trip me. I rolled a 1.
Oh. A natural
I rolled
one.
again because I thought I had to see if I succeeded to see it was a critical fumble, but then I realized, no,
Yeah.
this is the trip.
CMBs don't have a fumble.
Yeah.
They do not have a fumble. Oh, that's not bad. I don't think an 18 is going to get close to you, actually, to be honest.
CMD.
Yeah.
Meets it, beats it. Oh, hang on. No, to trip. No, that doesn't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, your
Ooh,
trip.
no, I was
your
like,
trip should be-
no, that's my grapple.
Your trip
CMD.
should be
My
quite,
trip is 20.
quite
yeah.
a lot harder than
20
that.
is the
So,
number.
yeah, your foot comes in and he seems to be ready for you, having seen it twice before. And he kind of puts his foot over the top and he drops his.
So you kind of do that thing you see on some of the kung fu movies where they like kind of cross feet and try
Yeah,
to...
he drops his. Well, he
Yeah.
essentially
Like foot
just stomps on top.
Essentially.
He stomps on you with his large foot, pushing your foot on the floor, and then he tries to push you over, but you manage to slip out between his large arches.
Okay,
I
cool.
didn't
So
know-
because it's a flurry, I still get my other attack, yeah? Cool. So then I'm just going to try and punch him straight in the kneecap.
Yep.
I didn't know CMD had
Critical fumble,
specific-
please. Rolled a 1 and then I rolled a 2.
Dude.
That's two ones in a row. I didn't know CMD had specific defenses.
Yeah, they're articulated separately because you get bonuses for
I only knew if you had
specific
4
ones.
legs, it was harder to trip. They do call him Reggie 3.
Here's the tripod.
Going to be dead reg in a second. They're very disappointing on the dice rolls.
Correct.
Oh, maybe I should make you roll this.
Okay, what am I rolling?
So I need you to roll a d20
Yeah.
and a d10 all at the same time and add them together.
Uh-huh. That is a 17.
Reg, after you move your foot back from under his foot, you attempt to punch him, but he seems to sense what's about to happen. And as your punch comes in, he moves out of the way and manages to put you so off balance that you fall prone yourself, striking your head and becoming stunned.
Stunned.
For 1d4 rounds. No, I'm doing that one.
How many rounds?
Hmm?
How many rounds?
Don't
Can you
worry
set
about
a
it.
timer for 10 seconds?
What a stun. I'm prone as well, right? Did you say?
Yeah. So you fall to the floor, hit your head,
Prone
and become
stunned.
stunned.
What happens with stun?
Stunned. The creature cannot take actions, drops everything held, takes a negative penalty, 2 penalty to armor class, and loses its dex bonus to armor class, if any. This is the
bad.
worst critical fumble I have ever seen. And it's weird because I came from a fumble chart that I have now got just as a backup to the fumble cards that I have digitally because they are on one device because the fumble cards stopped being supported by Pathfinder and they are only on my old iPad, which I forgot tonight because it doesn't have any charge.
You sound like one of the kids at school.
Well, I have this iPad, which is charged. If anyone wants to buy me a new iPad, I'm fine with it. iPad Pros are the best.
Okay. That's me done then.
So you guys see Reg fall down to the floor, crack his head, and then just lie there limply.
Miles, that's not a normal move for Reginald. I've never seen him join them.
It's my new drunken style.
Yeah. Ironically, guess how many rounds he's stunned for?
Twa.
No, it's Reg.
3.
3.
How much do you think twa is in
2.
D?
Troy. Troy's. It's 3. Fuck you. You guys are brutes. You're not even classy enough to understand Frenchies. It's their go.
Oh, no.
Oh, this
Miles
is.
next on the initiative.
No, he is not. The
Is he not?
enemy
Okay.
goes straight after you.
Oh, damn.
First thing that happens, Reg,
Now,
is that you don't see any of this.
that's right.
The other 3 companions see a sorcerer stand up.
In range of Tia?
The brute is in range of Tia, whereas the sorcerer is not. So the sorcerer is the first one that stands up. This is the first time Tia takes a moment to see a metal object that fits the description of the Skykey in this person's hand, almost as an addition or a focus for his magical spells. And he casts a spell, and you see pop, 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 multiples of his imagery come up.
Mirror image.
The brute in front of Tia turns straight at her, growls a little bit, looks at the little halfling on the floor, smiles, and wields its great axe.
Reggie's going to be Reggie 3 pieces soon.
Yeah. A suit.
23 to hit
Who are you hitting?
to Tia.
Oh, right. Okay.
I thought he was hitting.
Yeah.
That hits Tia.
No, I haven't got to the one that's going to hit you yet, Reg.
It all hits.
8 points of damage, Tia. Tia?
Tia. Tia Marok.
Yep. And upon Reg,
Coup de grace?
that is going to be
Can you do
a
that when you're adjacent to something?
No, help us.
16
He's stunned.
to hit you. Now, Reg,
Yep.
you can take a little extra damage from this guy because of a thing.
Because of a thing.
Yep.
A thing.
So
He's got a thing out.
That's right.
the great axe does D12 of damage.
Nice.
He rolled a 12
Okay. Plus his strength.
plus sneak attack.
Okay. Give me a number.
I don't want to. 18 points of damage as a great axe flies and cleaves into your lithe but limp body.
Don't worry about it.
And that is them done. Tia. Oh, sorry, Miles, you are next.
Miles is going to try and sleep strike the one that he failed his misfortune on.
Yep.
So will save, please. Sleep strike.
I believe you got him.
Nice. Falls
So
down.
He falls asleep, getting a 5 on his will save.
Does he land on Reg?
And that is the one that is in front of Tia at this point in time as well. That gets us down to, you doing anything else, Miles?
No. So that's 4 rounds he's asleep for.
So, Tia, what are you doing?
Who's standing up?
So you got 1 brute and 1 sorcerer.
He's going to stand in between them.
So the sorcerer, the sorcerer had moved 5 foot away from you, like a further 5 foot. So you're going to have to take a 10-foot move to do that. So it's not a 5-foot step to get between because you were standing, the way that you were on the back end of the triangle.
As long
of
as
the
she
two
can get
characters.
next to both of them, she'll get there.
Okay. So you have to use a move to get
Sure.
there. Yep. And then you get in between both of them.
The Holy One is down.
That's also going to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Get him to the chopper.
She does not care.
She does not care. And in comes an attack of opportunity
Who from?
from one of the brutes because Tia moves more than 5 foot. That is Tia. I don't think it's going to be big enough on an 11 to hit you.
It does not hit. His eyes upon me.
Yeah.
And wings to shield me.
Yep. What are you going to do, Tia?
Hit back at that one.
Okay. Hit away, please.
21 to hit.
That is definitely going to hit.
This is bad. This is bad.
If you roll a 1,
I rolled a 0 on my dice.
10.
So that's 25 points of damage.
Holy crap! Oh.
When its head hits the floor after being cleaved from its shoulders, its body twitches for a moment, drops to its knees, and then falls atop its sleeping companion,
There can be only
spewing
one.
blood all over it. That's going to be an interesting moment. Imagine waking up and just being covered in blood.
You
Just
know.
going, "Ah!" What's happened?
Picking up the head of your former colleague.
No, you're thinking it's your own blood. That's pretty funny.
And she'll look to the sorcerer and go, "You are next. Drop the thing and leave out the wall. Go."
Sorry, I had to figure something out then.
Okay.
Flopsy, it is your go.
Flopsy's going to leave his cloak on that crystal
Yep.
and start making his way around to the other crystal.
Yes, you can definitely get there in one move.
And start pulling something out to cover it with as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So you blanket or
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah,
or a
bedroll,
sack,
something like
or
that. Yep.
Yep. And you start moving out something to cover the other crystal. That brings us to round number 3. Reg, you still
Yeah, that's
asleep?
right. Yeah.
We have one dead orc combatant, one sleeping orc combatant, and he is now asleep for 1 round of how many he needs to sleep for. That brings us back to the one person who is left, which is the sorcerer. The sorcerer takes a 5-foot step back away from you, Tia, casts a spell. Make a will save for me, please.
7.
I'm just going to look this spell up so I can read it to you.
Is it a fear effect?
It is.
8.
Every little helps.
Oh, shit. Okay. How many hit dice do you have?
4.
Ah, excellent. Good. I thought I'd hoisted by my own petard then. You are frightened, Tia. So you have just become frightened. The frightened condition, let me give you that one. So you are as shaken, and so shaken means that you take a -2 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks, except that you must flee from the source. So you must flee. You are so scared of this creature that you are going to flee.
That sucks.
That's not good.
Yeah, so he moves 5 foot away from you to do that. Steps back, casts a spell, all of his images cast there, and you are now frightened. That brings us to Miles. Miles, it is your go.
So Miles is going to misfortune the sorcerer,
Yes,
hopefully.
a yes. Miles does misfortune the sorcerer.
Nice. Ha ha ha! Suck it! And he's going to move forward to the guy sleeping on the ground, drawing his large falchion as he does.
Ooh.
Okay. And you
Didn't know
move
he had a
forward
falchion.
to the
Yeah, I picked it
prone
up ages
orc on
ago.
the floor.
I haven't had a chance to use it.
Tia!
Just to clarify, frightened would mean she would make the fastest route to an exit.
You must flee from the elf.
To an exit, like to get as
So-
far away as
you
possible.
need to
Is
get
that
away from this elf.
Yourself.
So you wouldn't put yourself in danger, let's
No.
put it that way. But yes, you are so scared of that elf,
Yep.
you cannot be around it.
Yep.
So the half elf, you must move away
remove
from
myself as far away from it as possible?
that half elf. yes.
Describe the room for me, Justin.
It's a big open room with a staircase down from which you came up.
But the wall's not sheared off up here.
No.
It's intact.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
She's going to start moving down the staircase
Yep.
back from whence she came.
Okay, so you do your full movement all the way down
40
and
foot.
start moving down the stairs.
Yep.
Okay. Good. Flopsy.
Flopsy's going to see the the way the fight's unfolding down there and go, oh, shit. Looks like old mate's down. And he's going to start moving down to the floor. Can he get to Reggie's side?
Yeah, he can get to Reggie's side from where he is. That at this point is 10 foot away from the elf who's standing.
Yeah. That's fine. It's absolutely as expected. And he's going to try and staunch the wounds. He didn't learn another healing spell, and he would only be able to pull a potion and pour it down. He doesn't have that capacity this round, right?
No, it's a full round action to pour a potion.
So move and do a heal check to try and staunch the wound, please.
15 for a heal check.
He does not staunch the wound at 11.
Yes, it is. Is it 15 or 10, actually? You might need to... Oh, wait. Yeah, it doesn't actually say on here. Long-term care treat wounds. It doesn't say about... It's either 10... What did you get?
11.
11. Just look up whether or not that's a staunch wound, because it's very interesting to see where Reggie is sitting as we move into round number 4 that we will actually do next time we come to this table.
Oh,
are you kidding?
And play.
Hanging in the balance.
There's a couple of things that are going to happen.
There is so much to keep track of for next week. I need to write some of this shit down.